Hello everyone, welcome back to Command Wolf Gaming. I'm CWG, and welcome to Totally Accurate Battle Simulator. To be more specific, the beta branch, the public beta branch. So if you guys are playing this on Steam, I think it's only available through Steam. Anyway, if you right click and you look into the properties, it actually has a beta section and you can opt into it. So I'm in the beta section, and in the beta section we have the custom content. Now, part of the custom content, you can make characters! And as you can see here, I made already a full sweep of different characters. But I wanted to go through it with you guys and just kind of like show you what the custom creation's all about, as well as some how to set up your own physical faction. So all you have to do is go down here and hit Make New Unit, right? And it gives you three different designs you can go through. The Wobbler, Stiffy, or Halfling. Stiffy being the skeleton, of course Halfling being short, Wobbler being regular tall. We're going to be doing the Wobbler. Now if we go back to here, we can actually select different voices, and they actually do have a swooth of voices all the way down to even the minor right here. So like, yep, see, there you go. And then let's say I selected the gunslinger, right? So what I can do is change the pitch of it like that using this slide bar. I can determine if I want it as a melee or range unit. I'm actually just going to make a new range unit so you guys can see the options that are here. Targeting, I can do an enemy, I can do closest friend, I can do most expensive friend, least health friend, basically like you can create a healing unit, right, or something like that. You can actually even equip a rider. So for instance, if I wanted to put on top of my character another character like this, right, I can do so. I have to create two individual characters though in order for that to work. So like, for instance, this guy's mounted on top of this guy. So basically, like, I could do a halfling on top of a halfling to create a fulling. But onto the weapons. So in the weapon section, we got a one-handed option and a two-handed option. So since I have this actually enabled to the range unit, I can actually equip two ranged weapons. That doesn't mean I can only equip ranged weapons. I can equip other stuff like a katana if I wanted to, like either a one-handed or two-handed katana. But I can also just say, all right, I want to equip. I kind of want to use some of the machine gun stuff, the World War stuff. So if you guys don't know, they actually have all the weapons in here, even some like weird miscellaneous stuff. Like, look, they got a trident, they got a Viking hammer, regular hammer, triple flail, throwing knives. Like, I can equip any of this items. In fact, like, I'll equip the throwing knife onto my character, and let's say, you know what, I don't want it on the right hand, I want it on the left hand. I'll put it on the left hand just by using this simple flip option, and it changes the hand. Now I can also change the coloring on it if it has a coloring option for it. This one doesn't. So onto this, since we still have another free hand, we can equip another weapon. So in this case, I want to do okay, I want to do a let's see here, a Python revolver, because why not? So then we can also select abilities. So we got 4 different options here. We can either do two different weapons here, or like a shield and then a main, or a two-handed weapon, which will actually basically 2 hands on 1 weapon, and then we can do a specialty. So in this case, I want to do a quick draw, dodge, and I don't know, let's say a headbutt, right? Regular headbutt. So basically my character will have that option of doing a headbutt and the quick draw projectile dodge. Now on to clothes. Clothes, we actually have a wide variety of clothes to select from. So we got some ancient, we got the dynasty faction, we got the farmer faction, we got spooky faction, which actually has quite a cool variety of stuff that we can select if we really wanted to do it. Then we got some legacy stuff, as you can see here. So here, I thought I said hair for a second there. Medieval. So we got different types of things we can equip for the medieval faction. We got a weird selection of miscellaneous stuff. We can even make like Keebler elves and stuff. And if we go all the way down here, as you can see, with different mask patterns, Mongolian stuff. I think some of this stuff is probably to stuff that they're planning on adding, but they haven't added yet. Or they never did add it. Or they just made it for the customization. Don't know. But we'll just say it like that. I can actually do a pirate knife. Sweet. I'm not going to do that. So if we go down Renaissance, we all get into the tab G section. This is the regular stuff that you would see in that multiplayer game that they created a while ago that was similar to PUBG. I don't know what it actually stands for. Totally accurate something. Totally accurate battle game, I'm assuming, right? But we can go all the way down here, and as you can see, we get helmets. We got all sorts of different helmets. In fact, I want to do that marine helmet, right? Then we can do the same thing here. In fact, I can just layer on stuff as well. So if I want to go like this, and I wanted to do, let me put a grenade belt on him. And then for the shirt, let me go up here and find a shirt. Like, let me put a... They have a wide selection of stuff. In fact, if I put in world... flax. I know they have flax. Nope, that's a flag shirt. Can do that. So you can layer things on there. So like, I don't know if it does it matter the sequence? I don't know if it's matter the sequence. Let's just try this real quick. All right, so it doesn't look like it matters the sequence. It just snaps to the character. So if we go into here, we can actually change the color combinations on here. So like, we can change this gray, this blue, this green, and this other green. So if I want to do this, I can be like, switch to the team colors. And it'll give you an option for the team color. Obviously, we can do blue or green, blue or red, excuse me. But yeah. So in this case, I want to say, I want to do this color in, I can do a woodland color and do it a more brown. Then I can change this to this color. Let's say I don't know, a bright tan color. And this we can do like that, right? So we can do something like that. Oh, let's change this to something else. There we go. Right. Then I can do the same thing with that and that and that. So very easy to customize. And you know what? Let me finish customizing this character and we can get back to the regular stuff. All right, so we got my character all like set up here, right? It's not a pretty looking character, but it's a character nonetheless, right? So what we can do next is actually select our stats for the unit. The stats are actually going to generate on what we want to do. Basically, if we want to increase our hit points so we'll take more damage, all we have to do is hit that little button up and it'll increase. So it's double the amount of hit points that it will take. The size, we can increase the size of a character. Let's say I want to make him a little taller, or I can make him shorter. It kind of defeats the purpose of making him short when you could use a halfling, but I guess just proportional to the side. And then you can increase your weight. Now, the weight is actually a very important factor, an important item to use when generating your character, because it all depends on what you're doing it for. If you're using a heavy weapon, so if I decide to use, let's look at a heavy weapon right here. So if we decide to not use the revolver, but we decide to use the minigun instead, right? First of all, my character would not be able to hold that up very well. And if we do test, see how like he's holding it up, but not very efficiently. right? So if we go in stats, first of all, I'm going to switch this to two-handed, right? If we go in stats, increase the weight, like so, and then test unit, he's actually holding that up better than what he was doing before. So let's just get rid of this weapon again. So that's a very important factor to have. And in fact, it says the weight and strength of the unit, good for units who have heavy weapons so they can carry them. And it's also good for if you're going to do a horse. So if I'm making this character into a horse, right? And if I go to back to base and I want to say my rider is going to be this guy, right? If I do this, well, this guy is actually able to carry him, shockingly. But you might have to modify the weight, right, in order for this top guy to actually be carried around. In fact, I kind of like this. This is entertaining. Anyhow, so we're just gonna remove that for now, and we'll go back to horses. So, oh, that's why, because I have a unit of. Let's try that again with a base of 1. So let's just get. Oh God, no, not that one. Let's do. Where was it? Okay, let's try it now with the base of 1. Oh boy. Okay, so he's still able to carry him, but for all purposes, we're just gonna drop it all the way down. And as you can see, he was having a harder time. He is having a harder time holding up his rider. So you kind of want to make sure he's strong enough to hold up his rider. I usually jack that up a little bit, but we'll just leave it as 1. Movement speed is how fast our character is going to move. And then our attack speed is how fast his speed of attack is. So if he's swinging around a hammer, usually you want to be like, okay, let's slow it down, right? Because it's a big hammer, it'll do heavier damage, which we can adjust the damage here. So I can drop this down, right, to half the damage, but then I can also increase my attack speed to kind of like equal it out, right? So we can always play with these numbers a little bit. Then if we go into the save space, right, if we hit auto here, it will actually auto generate cost for the unit, and obviously we can come up with our own description. Right now, I'll just take a picture of him. There we go. Special forces. Just temporary title. Okay, so and as you can see here, he's actually in this selection. Now, if I go to factions and I say, all right, I want to generate a new faction. I'm going to do this, right? And this new faction is going to be called, let's call the soldiers, right? So I'm going to select all my soldiers that I have. I got the paratrooper, I got LMG, I got Thompson, I got a cavalry horse unit, I got the mini gunner here, the boomer, which is a double shotgun style, and the special forces. And as you can see here, they're all cost, relatively close to cost here, relatively the same. The cavalry horse is actually the most expensive unit at 1200. And then we can save this, right? It'll save the color. We can even change this color if we want to, right? We'll just do it in a dark green. Save. So we got 7 units here, 7 units, 9. Okay. So now if we go into our sandbox mode, all we have to do is actually select this more factions, right? Then take it and place it into here. So now the soldier factions are in here, right? And I did these two because I was testing. So now that we got the soldier factions in here, we can close that out, bring up our soldier factions, and then we can generate them onto the field like so. Now, generally, you're going to be doing a lot of testing with your characters because you want to adjust them so that their cost is almost accurate to what they're capable of. Obviously, I love this character. I love it so much because you just kind of want to proportion it out correctly, right? So let's say I want to take my new unit here. It's 770 points, right? So let's try to find something at least that much. So let's go to, I don't know. All right, so there's nothing really close to 800, nothing that I can find. So I'm just going to use this Jouster unit right here, right? That's out of the Renaissance faction, which is actually 1,000, to kind of make a baseline to just kind of prove a point here. So if we see this coming in, watch. And as you can see, he actually died in one shot, even though he did fairly well. So all I have to do in order to adjust his strength is if I go back to the main menu, I go to the custom content again, I reselect him, and I go and say, all right, so I want to increase his damage again, right? And I will, yeah, it still costs 770. Because we kind of want to try to make him as even as possible. When you test the unit here, you're really not testing it against anything. It's just randomly generated stuff. So maybe I want to give him something other than a throwing knife to up his damage. So let's just give him something a little bit more gutsy, you know? So let's see here. Let's see here. What can we do? What could we do? All right. So I'm going to decide to actually give him another Python. Right, and then we'll just 760. That's not bad. It's overwrite, and then we're gonna retry the sandbox. All right, so here's our character again. As you can see, it is updated. We didn't update the icon down here, so it's a little bit confusing. But as you can see, he has 2 pythons. He is worth 10 less, but we did increase his damage. Let's see how that does now. Because we want to make it difficult for the cavalry unit to win, but have the cavalry unit win after all. Just for the simple fact that he still does cost more than our special forces unit. Now, if we take that cavalry unit away, let's just see, since he is 760, let's see if we can get something a little closer. Alright, so the next closest unit is actually the knight, right? So he should be able to block a number of the bullets. And as you can see here, he did. I couldn't help actually taking control of him. He still beat him. Okay, so that's good. So we know that he's not as strong as a... Well, he should be stronger than a knight. So it is actually bad because he is costing more. So in that respect, we can go back to our content creator, and once we're in here, we can actually go back to this slot and we can manual override this. So instead of 760, let's just say he cost 500 instead. And actually, let's update our character as well. Right? Then we'll save the character, override it. Then we can retry the character. Now, it only costs 500, so let's just find something for 500, which is this character right here. There we go. Now, something I would really like to see is if we can take these characters that we already have and actually put them into the custom creator to get the basic stats for them, you know? And actually, that worked out pretty well. So, actually, I want to see how well or how fast she kills. Okay, there we go. Couldn't help myself. Alright, so she took out our health out in pretty much 2 swipes, so let me see how much damage I'll receive here. So if all the bullets hit, it's just about half our health. So it's pretty accurate to what we were trying to do in the beginning. So we can say he's pretty balanced out now. So that's actually good. Now, I do want to actually show you a couple of the other characters, but honestly, they're all just kind of like a whole bunch of experimentals here. And I just kind of threw them together just for, you know, giggles, right? I just started a whole World War II faction. I don't know. I like having the idea of having like automatic weapons in the game, especially like the Thompson. That was fun. But yeah, for now, I just wanted to show you guys the content creator that they're coming out in the beta branch and how to like test your units, how to play your units. And I'm actually hoping that we'll get a download for it, honestly, because I do want to see it downloaded so that we can do it accordingly, you know, update this accordingly, and play, you know, other people's factions and stuff like that. Because you know how cool it would be to have like a super deluxe character. Like, I love this one character here. It's called the Wall. Right, if we go to my sandbox. Like, I absolutely love this guy. My only issue is that his head gets stuck in the wall all the time. I was playing as like the giant, right? So I actually did this twice. I have another giant right here. This guy's a little bit... he has a secondary weapon, though. But, yeah. That's the content creator so far. And honestly, if you guys have any suggestions on what character you would like to see, or if you want me to make a custom character for a specific group or something like that, let me know down in the comment section. I want to hear from you guys. And like I always say, folks, 95% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel yet. That's right, 95% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel yet, so make sure to hit that big red subscribe button down below. All the subscriptions help out the channel. And like I always say, folks, like, subscribe, and share. Spread the love, and I hope to see you next time here on Command Wolf Gaming. Bye-bye now.